sure, because we'll be having multiple things going on during the daytime. Summer is the time to get it in, right in our field of work. So between the special needs camp, the Kingdom Cares camps that we're offering, and our regular summer camp that we have, it's going to be plenty of people coming in and out. We on.
It's May 17th, and a lot has happened since our last podcast, which this is podcast number, which one?
Either 13 or 14.
13 or 14. We took a little break. Now we're back, and got a lot to report on and discuss. But our first big project, I would say, is the New Balance circuit, and which is taking us to another level and tested us all the way around, all the way from logistics, getting there, traveling in the bus, setting up hotels. We got that piece done. Then the actual coaches coaching there and playing there and dealing with the athletes and parents in the hotels and all that. And then the actual preparation, training, and getting the athletes ready.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's been good thus far. We've finished our third session. So the kids, they went to Oklahoma City, they went to Wichita, Kansas, just got back from Fayetteville, Arkansas. We have another one coming up in a couple of weeks. And they've really embraced the platform. The competition level has been pretty solid. So it's been a good experience holistically for everybody involved. So it's been a good move for us.
With 7th grade and
ninth grade. Yep, 7th grade, 9th grade teams getting after it.
Yeah. So, and I think that's our max right now.
Yeah, I think for what we have now, because we have a total of 5 teams now.
Yeah.
And the other 3, they're academy-based teams where they're focused on the development, training, playing locally. So as far as the elite level, more advanced players that we have, within our team program, those are the 2 teams that have been with us the longest, right, as far as their tenure.
Yeah.
And so they've been able to, keep a solid nucleus to be able to prepare for something like, a circuit level opportunity.
Right. And so with the development, which you're pretty much over with the development and getting them ready and all that, what do you see as far as the mindset of the athletes?
Man, that's a good question. That's a good question, man. Like when it comes to the development stuff, like it has its ups and downs. Like, it's a lot of things that, in the mind, of a coach, you have expectations, right? You expect like certain players to already know certain things. But when you start to really pull back the layers, you start to see that like everything has to be coached. Like everything has to be, broken down in a way where athletes can understand not only how to do it, but why to do it. Because if they don't understand the why to anything, then it doesn't stick. So even when it comes to, your hydration or the preparation, the stretching, how to warm up, like, we're having to really break down every aspect of it before you even get to the skills part. Right. So that's the biggest thing that I've seen, when it comes to basketball. The game gets faster, as they get older. And so they have to understand that a lot of things can't be repeated. Right. And once you have it, you have to have it. And then we have to spend time to build on to the next thing.
Right.
Because as the game progresses, we're still having to revisit things over and over again. That's how you get behind. So, but the kids are receptive, man. They're showing up, they're being consistent. And that's the first step. But that's not the only step, right? The next step is retaining and going out there and having the confidence to implement it when it matters most.
And pushing to every level you're on, the harder you got to train, the more focused you got to be, those types of things. And I think that's what our athletes are experiencing now, is having to go that extra mile than they normally would go.
For sure.
And it's really pushing them and challenging them. And, which is the goal. You got to go through the heartache of, getting beat, things of that nature. But when you go into a tournament and win all 4 games, one tournament, and then what?
1 and 3 the next.
Right.
Yeah.
Something's gotta give.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And most of it's mental. You know how it is. Most of it's mental. When you're coming off of a weekend where you're playing really, really well, the ball's bouncing your way, things are flowing, you're having a good time, and then you go to the next event with that same expectation. Granted, it's a different area, different teams you're playing against.
Right.
They have to understand that there's no time to get comfortable. And you have to always be ready for whatever challenge to come, because it's going to get tougher and tougher as they get, prepared for live period in July.
Right. And then when you're talking about getting a scholarship and playing at the next level, it's a whole nother zone you got to go to.
For sure.
And a whole nother mindset you have to develop. Mindset and work ethic. That you got to develop. And that's what I think kids don't really understand.
No, and it's a competitive industry. We talk about it all the time, man, and it kind of segue into the next part of the conversation as far as competitive. Basketball is a global sport, right? They're not only playing it in your backyard, but they're playing it worldwide. So I had the opportunity to go to Amsterdam for a week and do a camp there with BBX. Shout out to Sam Graham and his wife Marcia. They put together a 5-star event, 120 kids there. Coaches from all over, some coaches that actually live in Europe. Most of them live in the States. So it was a great opportunity to be able to see a different breed of kid, right? A kid that comes from a different walk of life, a kid that has maybe a different upbringing, a different mindset, but chasing the same dream, right? And having us coaches, from Progress Your Game from Germany, Linton John, Dave Hopler from Florida, Ramses Kelly from Florida, Trey Ball Assassin Moses from South Carolina, my guy, HOF training out of South Carolina, Bobby, from LA, all these guys who are seasoned, who have played at a high level. Sam Graham played, 20 plus years overseas. So, myself, I played in Europe, I played in the Netherlands, which was cool to go back there. So having all of those, people at the table and then stepping into the gym to work with these kids where basketball isn't the first go-to. In Europe, basketball is still relatively a new sport, right? But for us to give them that information and for it to be like a shock to them, like, whoa, like y'all are literally speaking 2 different languages. You're speaking English, granted it's an English-speaking country, but then you're speaking this high-level basketball terminology that is way above like anything that I've experienced because it's not a prominent sport there. It was just kind of good to see, what I mean? And so to be able to take that intel and bring it back to our kids in the States to be like, hey guys, like, yeah, granted, some of these kids were at your same level. There was a couple that I would say that they were a little bit more on the elite, but most of them were that intermediate, like right in the middle of the road type of player, which was to be expected, right? But just to see the desire, that's where it sparks. It sparks with a desire, you know what I'm saying? And they had the NBA draft lottery pick, so we know the number 1 pick coming out of France is going to go to the San Antonio Spurs. So it's a global situation, and a lot of kids, they just don't see that, right? They just see what they see in front of them, but that's just only a small percentage and a small part of the amount of kids and athletes that are chasing that same dream and dynamic. So to be able to experience that with those guys, and it was beautiful. We're going to do a lot more to come that we'll talk to in future episodes. Was just a huge refresher. So I appreciate that team for welcoming me with open arms, allowing me to learn from them, grow with them, and serve those athletes. Now I can take that information and give it to our guys of how they should take it more serious, because guys are coming for it. You know what I mean? And girls
all over the world.
All over the world. They don't stop.
The pool is getting smaller and smaller.
It is a shrinking door.
So, with that, we're gonna pivot to summer. That's the kicking off summer. So the New Balance kicking off summer. Your trip to Amsterdam kicked off the summer. So we got a lot of exciting things happening this summer. One with we have the athlete work program coming that we'll discuss. We have the entrepreneurial program, and then we have the basketball summer camp, and then the special needs kids summer camp. So it's gonna be rocking.
Yeah, it's gonna go by fast, man. We got a
Yeah.
lot of services to bring to the people, so we're
Right.
excited about that.
So if we discuss the
Let's talk about
summer.
the special needs and how that funnels into the work program. I think those
Okay.
work hand in hand.
Okay. So with the special needs camp,
First, break down, because a lot of people don't know like what we do with the
okay.
special needs community.
So let's talk about the program we're presently doing as far as with the Special Skills Academy.
Okay.
That's every Saturday, 1:30, all year round. We've been doing that going on
Longer than that.
5 years.
Five. Yeah, we started that before COVID.
Yeah.
We had upwards of like 30 kids, and then COVID shut us down.
Right. And so we were doing that 4 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then COVID hit, we went down to 1 day. So we do it every Saturday, 1:30 to 2:30. We've got I'd say about 10 athletes in that program. Coach Demir, he runs that program.
He does a phenomenal job.
We have to, we see the passion. We see him dedicated to these kids.
Yeah.
And I know these kids look forward to coming every Saturday to, work out and do basketball and socialize with one another. And so with that program, that's going on all year long. Then we have the Special Skills Academy summer camp. That's 6 weeks that we partner with Dominique Cares, your mother's nonprofit. So it's called Kingdom Cares. And so that's a six-week program, which we started 2 years ago. And so each year, that program of special needs kids, we started off with just volunteers, volunteering, parents, athletes, students, volunteering. And so we built that up, which is just an incredible program and summer camp where we have activities of art, karate, music, yoga, and then we take them out to the trampoline next door and all these different activities for them, which is a really robust program and camp that I feel outmatches the other things that are provided for the special needs community.
Yes, sir.
And it's growing every year. So this year we anticipate having about 30 kids at the summer camp. But the thing that we're running into is that we have to have staff.
Yeah.
Because the kids have to be watched for the whole 5 hours they're here. And it's really a great experience. And we did a pilot program with one of our athletes last year, and it was awesome. Gave him his first job. So we're going to kick off this year with our athlete work program, a program that is going to give jobs to about 6 to 10 athletes in our program, as well as some kids that have been helping us. They're all high school students that have been helping us over the years. So we're really excited about that program.
I just think that's a powerful thing, man, because a lot of these kids, they need the life skills, right? Like our special needs kids, they need the life skills. They age out of high school, and then there's nowhere for them to go. So to be able to provide a platform and program for them to learn, be included, and have activities to look forward to on a day-to-day basis is remarkable, right? On the work side of things, having our typical athletes, giving them an opportunity to make money, learn a trade, learn how to open up their own bank account to be able to start their life, build their work experience, and show them that there's other ways to be involved in the game without playing it, right, at an early age. Because granted, everybody has aspirations to go to college and play basketball, go professional. We want that for them, and we're giving them all of the resources to try to help them with that endeavor. But in the interim, giving them other avenues around the game of basketball that keeps them in the gym, gives them experience is going to help set them apart from everybody else, right? Even when it comes to applying for colleges, you know what I mean, them being able to put that on their resume. You know, all kids now are required to have X amount of service hours to graduate, so they can fulfill those obligations here at Kingdom. So it's just so many different things and aspects that we can help our athletes accomplish.
Right, and those are those students that did the community service hours. They're some of the ones that we're choosing to hire for the camp as well.
For sure.
So, you know, it just shows those kids. You never know what it could lead into.
That's good, man. Yep.
You know, you may be volunteering now, but once someone sees your work ethic, then they might pull you aside and say, "Hey, we got a job for you."
That's very true.
And that's what those things we want to encourage and showcase kids as possible. And so then our next project is the entrepreneurial program. So, you know, growing up, I always wanted that opportunity. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and I always want, man, if somebody give me an opportunity to do something, you know, to start a business or what have you, I would just love it, just eat it up and dedicate all my time to it.
Yeah.
And so this opportunity we're creating is dear to my heart because it's going to give kids the opportunity to start their own business.
Yeah, for sure.
And so what that entails is our smoothie shop. You know, during the school year, it's just too much for us to run. We're not able to run it. We're too busy. So we want to open the opportunity up for two kids. They don't have to be athletes. They don't have to be in our program. Two kids with the entrepreneurial mindset to go into business and run our smoothie shop.
And that smoothies, concessions,
whatever,
anything that they can think of, that'd be great. That's great. So that's going to be giving them an opportunity, gives us opportunity to focus on other things in the business. So,
right.
I mean, that's a great opportunity for these kids.
So we're excited about that. And when the concession stand is open, they're available to sell concessions to the campers and everybody that's in the building, guys training and all that stuff.
For sure, because we'll be having multiple things going on during the daytime. You know, summer is the time to get it in, right in our field of work. So between the special needs camp, the Kingdom Cares camps that we're offering, and our regular summer camp that we have, it's going to be plenty of people coming in and out, so that those people can sell those concessions to the campers. So we're having camps from 9 to 12, doing about 6 to 7 weeks of regular basketball camps as well as the special needs camps.
And we just met with Jock, so we're going to be adding that
a strength camp as well.
Strength camp, so they'll be able to go 9 to 12 with the basketball camp,
and then 1 to 3. 1 to 3.
Yeah, with the strength camp.
So it's a lot going on, man. So it's been good, bro. You know what I mean? You know how it is. It's just a lot of work, a lot of focus. It's been all great. Just being able to stay locked in and prepare ourselves for every, it seems like every month is always something positive, for us to wrap our mind around. We had our, annual golf tournament a couple weeks ago in April. Yeah. So that was a success. That was the second or third one.
That's the second one.
The second one that we've had. So we made, I don't know how much we generated, but we had, about 70 golfers.
70 golfers, gave away about 40 prizes as far as raffle gifts.
Right. I actually won 2 raffle gifts. I never win.
Everybody.
No, there's some people who didn't win. I won two gifts. I wanted a third one. There was something else I was eyeing, but I got the 2 things that I wanted, so I'm happy about that.
So that and food, DJ Don Juan
always blesses us.
Yeah. So it was a great event. So that's our annual golf tournament we do every year in association with Dominique Cares, and then we have our gala that's
coming up in the fall. So we'll talk more about that as we get closer. So definitely looking for more strategic partners and sponsors. We were able to get a few new sponsors this year, through some of our academy family. So that was great. So looking to expand our sphere of influence and work with other corporate entities so we can continue to grow these initiatives.
Right, and really. Continue to keep everyone informed. That's one of the reasons why we're doing the podcast is to let everyone know, because we do so much. We have a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to just put in a newsletter.
Yeah.
And expect people to read it. Hopefully, people watch this and they're able to really key in and understand what we're trying to do.
For sure.
And it's starting to materialize now with being able to offer kids jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and which is a big step for us. And I think that with us going down this road and opening this door, it's just gonna grow even more.
Mm-hmm.
We're offering jobs today. Who knows what's next?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
So, but yeah, man. So that sums up our summer
kickoff.
Kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll be back with more.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, brother.